Cheers, mix, click, and code with Boozy browsing, sipping and fixing the web one cocktail at a time.
We are finally launching our cocktail section.
Well, halfway.
Halfway. So I prepare for it, but somebody didn't.
I did not.
You suggested it.
I cheated. When I show you my beer, you'll understand.
Well, what I did, I kind of like halfway did actually.
Okay. Did you already make it and try it?
I didn't try it yet. I made it.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
So that's what I was gonna make and drink. So
Yeah.
it's daiquiri. It's simple enough. Its ingredient is white rum, fresh lime juice, simple syrup, orange bitter, lime will, whatever garnish. So it's pretty simple. You just mix it all and then shake it.
Yeah.
Put it orange bitter, tiny Bacardi because I'm not gonna be doing that. And I have lime juice and then doing an ice, and I realize I don't have a shaker. So what I did was I
Do you have one or two of those Bacardis? Isn't that just 1 ounce?
so I put two of these.
Okay.
So I went clever with it. So I do have lime juice, but I realized lime juice and simple syrup. What can it be? And then mixed with ice and chilled. So I got a sorbet. So I put it in here and mixed with the Bacardi and put the orange bitter, and I'm gonna shake it with a. So it actually turned out, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a shaker eventually, but for now. And I don't have the lime garnish. So I got the umbrella.
That's even better.
So it's here.
You didn't have the right glass almost. Perfect.
Yep. So that's my drink. And
Wow. Going with a whiskey barrel stout. It's barrel aged. So I'm going with a whiskey barrel stout. It's barrel aged. It's Boulevard Brewing, and right there. But I'll pull up the real site.
taste it. It's really good. It's really good.
Is it just sweet and good, or can you taste the rum?
I taste the rum, but I think I put the right mix of this whole thing with the orange. I taste the taste of orange as well, because it's not too rummy. It's just like, but it's like one of those things that if you have like a mixed rum drinks, like you don't really realize like how much you're drinking. Kind of like good balance. It's exactly that. So dangerous. I'm trying not to go too crazy with it, but
I went with this one, and this is a typical, saw the price, like, all right, it's a bit expensive. Grabbed it, it's like, oh, there's 4 there. It's like, oh, wow. So this better be really good for the price of what should have been 6.
Oh, really? So what does it taste like?
Like a stout with a little bit of whiskey. Tastes really good.
So it is kind of mixed already?
Well, I mean, you get being in a barrel for a while, you get a little bit of extra flavor. Definitely extra alcohol. Yeah. Almost 12%. Should we do a quick critique? I don't know. Colors Look on Brand is a new site. I'm not going to go into detail on this one.
Good.
Quite the menu. I don't know what the mobile looks like. Anyways, we listed out, we wanted to talk about, well, the title was going to be The Slow and Silent Killer of Your Project. Why technical leadership is non-negotiable.
Yeah. And we see this a lot, and it's one of those topics that we've seen some teams like slowly deteriorate and doesn't realize it's because of some of these. And it's like not too apparent until later on. So it takes a while to sometimes even notice why this is an issue. But it's a very, very important thing.
I think this happens a lot when people either get promoted too early or people leave and then kind of the same idea as someone is placed into a role before and then they're not getting supported in a lot of ways. Like there's no one above them that can identify like how to help them.
Right.
It's not the person's, like either case isn't the person's fault. Like unless they were like super ambitious and like pushing people out of the way, which I mean, I've seen that in corporate politics, but not usually as much on the technical side. Like usually the person is pushed into a role and then not supported in a lot of ways. Or like I said, like someone leaves and then the team has to take over and then someone on the team takes over.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it that way, it's never like that, but it's just, it's the environment and then like whatever situation that you couldn't step up to usually causes it. And then it causes the entire project to fail eventually because it affects a lot of other teams.
Right. This is where I used to talk about, like, I've been doing consulting. You've basically been doing the same amount of time, like 18, 19 years. You go into an organization, it's like the reason you're there is because you can kind of bring all the like levels of expertise from your organization, right? You go into an organization that is kind of small and they're just trying to fill it with a person, a couple of people. They don't have like the structure in place to do the appropriate management and mentoring of a development team, of an engineering team. So it very quickly falls apart when any of these things happen. And then the people put in place don't have like the resources versus, and this isn't like upsell an agency because everything has changed now. Everything is continuing to change. But you bring in an agency if you're small and you're getting an entire organization typically. Like I always had bosses at my agencies. Like the people that worked for me had me to rely on when they had questions about any type of like process or like if they were going to propose something. Versus a small company that has one or two developers, one of the people have to be a lead, they might have the same experience as all of them and they've never done the thing that they're trying to do.
And also, it also comes with the size of the team too, because like you might be okay with people with the team with like one or two people. That's relatively easier transition in if you're new to it than you have like a team of like 20 people that you have to make sure everything is working without some people just kind of staying around. And like you have to pay attention to everything. You have to see the bigger picture and how the team works and how they work with each other, not causing a bottleneck or stepping over everyone's toes. So that's a different skill set that we might not get it right away. And you need to have the right personnel to guide you through that role. So, and also it's, if you are not ready for it, it's also sometimes it's hard to find the right person right away. It's like the case that if somebody leaves and you need to fulfill that role, it takes a while to identify the person and hire the person and that person to get used to the team.
It's kind of surprising, like a team that big wouldn't have the like ability to like put the right people in place. Like it's kind of surprising to me. And that's like a team of 20 engineers in general, right? Like you would already have the hierarchy. So why would you put in someone that you've been watching maybe or like try and you're going to throw them in and try without any extra support? Like that's so weird. I know you're talking, I know where you're talking. I know the places that have done this. It's just surprising in an organization that large would do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with some companies that they think they have the support, but in reality they didn't, because whoever was supporting the person doesn't know how to support the person correctly. So I mean I've seen that from various places in a different degree. Some is pretty traumatic and some aren't, but at the end of the day, it's, you don't want to put the person to fail, but it does happen without having the right guidance. I think a lot of these gets encapsulated in these 5 areas.
I like this list that you put together because I feel like a lot of things that have like points of like needing to hit, you don't have to hit them all because other ones will support it, right? So if you don't have to be perfect at all 5 of these things.
Right.
But if you're really bad at 2 or maybe even 3 is going to fall apart really quickly.
Number 1 is clear vision and communication. Strong leaders establish a clear project visions and ensure effective communication across all teams. Number 2 is decision making and accountability. Effective leaders make timely decisions and maintain accountability for outcome. Number 3, team empowerment and collaboration. And empowering teams to innovate and collaborate creates higher quality solutions and business value. Number 4 is conflict resolution and morale. Effective conflict resolution maintains teams' morale and prevents project delays. Number 5 is adaptability and technical oversight. Adaptability to new tools and trends helps businesses stay agile and competitive.
I personally don't know that I'm an amazing communicator. My kids and my past teams, current teams have told me about this multiple times. Like, why didn't you just tell me what we were what you expected? It's like, well, I told you what we're supposed to do.
Right.
That's what I expected for you to do the thing. Now, that's like I'm doing the other things like team empowerment and collaboration. Like I'm in the weeds with people trying to help them figure out things. Like I'm there when things go wrong and I know how to fix them, versus just telling them go do this thing and no deadline, no anything. Like I'm actually along the way kind of helping them typically.
It overlaps not just dev team, but business team and stakeholders as well. Just like, for example, communications, that everyone has to be on the same page. So it's not like you don't have to have a huge, crazy skill to communicate very effectively. You just need to make sure everyone is on the same page and they understand what's going on, timeline-wise, if there's any delays, why it's there, and what is causing it, and then how are we fixing it? Do we have a plan? So those kind of communications, just making sure everyone knows what's going on, because things could break, things can get delayed. As long as they understand what's going on, people don't get mad or just outraged or anything like that. So that's kind of good leadership to make sure. And also that it lifts the stress from the team, because like sometimes things go wrong, the team might be getting stressed because of their pressure, but when they explain it to the right area, right people, that is like, hey, this is why it's happening. So, and this is estimates that we're assuming, then as long as you communicate, they're not gonna get stressed over these either.
Yeah, this is like so part of the communication side of where I don't know if I struggle, like that's a good word for it or not, but like I some people over communicate and that's their plan, like that's what they want to do, and that's I lean on the other side typically, and this isn't because I don't want to talk to, like, it's because I was raised a certain way. Like I'm an Army brat, like that, like I should know what I'm supposed to know, and that's what I'm supposed to do. Anything outside of that isn't necessarily important. Now, there's gray areas, and they should have a good idea of like what the overall goal is. That's totally fine. But I feel like a lot of times when you give them, like, again, technical, I give a development team all the information, they start to think about all the other things that is someone else's responsibility, right? And it blocks them. Now, again, it's hard because sometimes that's important for them to know, like if there's communication back and forth, but that's another like level of communication. When you get to that task, like I need to know how to organize things so that I know when we're going to get there, you both need to know both things. And I need to tell you more information. Kind of when we're getting there, then I give you more information type of thing. But also like letting them know like the full goal of everything and not like just not all the like requirements, I guess.
Yeah, I felt like I'm not over communicating a lot. I don't think that that's necessary, but like sometimes it is, especially when you're working with the people who you haven't worked with before, because especially like you need to build a trust, and then that they don't know what's going on. Once you actually establish the relationship and you work with the team or the person for a while, they understand what's going on. They understand our cadence or our style. But until we get there, like until we have that icebreaker, that you kind of had to over communicate, I still try to find the right boundary for that, because like it depends on the person too, because some people don't like it and some people need it.
Yeah.
So, and there's also some people don't like it but need it, but don't realize that they need it. It's harder to find a good balance, but as long as the main points has to be communicated regularly, even if some people get frustrated, I feel like now it's like I still try to communicate because they need to know what's going on.
I think that's where the adaptability comes in. I mean, I don't remember your definition of it, but like the adaptability of the lead, of being able to like always monitor, always review, like not just like, oh, are things getting done, but what are people doing and how are they communicating the things that they're doing? Like, you can really like, if you're not paying attention to the communication of the team, it goes off quickly. As far as they'll go a week of like, oh, I'm almost done. Oh, I'm almost done. Oh, I'm almost done. It's like, well, what are you working on, and why didn't you finish it yesterday? Like, it's almost never because they didn't work. It's because they couldn't figure something out. So jumping in and helping them, like that adaptability, like being able to like change for that person. Like that person needs a little bit more hands-on kind of attention, and maybe they need a little bit more communication around like what other people are doing, because they've been focusing on something that another person is going to probably get done anyways. So why like just move on type of thing.
It was part of it was that it was also like when stakeholders just kind of try to throw more things on top of what's already need to be built, shifting priorities, and how can you be like you need to be adaptable for those because it happens all the time. And just explaining that if you're going to shift the priority from whatever was high priority, what trade-off you're getting, things like that.
Yeah, that's where the morale boosting comes in.
Yeah,
that's right. It's like you can, not to poo-poo on product managers and other people, like they have their need, like they need certain things, and those things change, right? Mm-hmm. But from a developer's perspective, when I just spent days, hours, weeks, whatever the time period is on this thing, and now I'm being told it needs to be done a different way, and my deadline didn't shift because we're still going to launch at the same time. It's like that hurts sometimes. Like you gotta like this isn't even part of this talk, but like I've kept people in organizations because they weren't the best like developer, let's say, but they kept the team together during really bad times, and they were good developers. They just weren't like the best. So no problem paying them what they got paid, because I knew that everyone was going to have a better time during the day, during the office, whatever, right, remote, because that person was going to have not just all fun, but like they were going to keep morale going, because projects can really suck sometimes.
You know, they're not a clown, but it's like they actually they throw positive energy to the team.
Huh?
Even though their skill set wasn't perfect, but it's all right. It's not the best, but at the same time, it worked really well with the team.
And if you're that person, you're watching this and you think it's you, it's not. Like, again, these were all good developers and good in multiple levels, right? But if there was an issue with their work, it was offset by them creating a morale that
their personality
was a good team. And they would eventually probably be team leads at some point. Like that was like things that would then allow them to actually lead teams, most likely.
Yeah, they'll be good people person.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's a very important skill.
Yeah.
So that actually leads to team empowerment collaboration too, because you want to make sure that team works well as a team. It's important to shine as an individual too, but at the end of the day, you're working as a team. So you want everyone to collaborate to go for the greater goal. So that's important. And then the leadership has to make sure that that's going to the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And adaptability to technical oversight as well, because I mean, there's new technology coming up all the time. Because like even for us, like we're using like AI stuff and like vibe coding and mixing it with our workflow, and then that's always going to happen. It's not a new thing. I explained it when I was doing the talk about career growth. It's like you think that AI is like, I know that it's a hype, but there's every time period there was something big hype. There's always that. So you just need to be adaptable. You just need to make sure that you're incorporating it to be more efficient. And then sometimes leadership role is very important, because even some junior to like senior developer brings in a cool thing, you need to be open to adapt that thing. Otherwise, like, where you just keep shutting it down, there's no way that your team's gonna progress.
Right.
So I'm seeing that worked really well and worked really not well.
Like people pushing back or to
Like
do it their way.
Yeah, so it's just not even listening to it, or just like, no, we can't do it because it's gonna take forever for us to get approval. So like some weird reason to just shut it down right away instead of trying to even consider it.
I've seen that, again, being a consultant, you get to work within organizations. Like you see that dynamic of certain people that have to do it their way and they stand by it no matter what. It's like the longer they're in that position, the more pain, like you'll see over years, people will leave, right, or move within the organization. But it's like, I don't know how these organizations allow people to stay in those roles that don't like build up their people. Like I've always tried to get to the point where like people can, and this is a cliche, I guess, like try to be replaceable, right? Like I want to know that whatever role I'm in on a project, someone eventually will be able to do that instead of me. Like, because there's always new projects in most organizations. Like, and then I'll oversee the other projects or do a different one and then watch them excel. Like, this might be because my ego's too big. Like, I don't really have someone's gonna do better than me and then be my boss. Like, that happened when I was younger.
Right.
I hated it, but I really liked the person. I learned from them too. Like I've now learned, like, it doesn't matter if someone that reports to me is my boss. Like, you reported to me at one point, right?
Not directly either. I mean, like,
two levels, right?
Yeah, two levels down. I've been talking about that a lot in like a lot of interviews. I was like, he was my boss's boss.
Half the things I do now, even though we're partners, you are my boss. Like, because we have just the way. Like, I'm sure I'm going to get I'm going to get some kind of write up because I didn't make my drink.
Yeah.
Or you just understand that that's the way I am.
I don't mean to like pat your back on it, but I was even when you're partner and that you're my boss's boss, I remember there was an intern and he was more comfortable talking to you than his direct boss.
Well, that person we have to name because I've done this with him.
I was actually
literally named the intern.
I didn't really directly work with you by that time. And then when I heard that, I was like, that tells something about him. So like, I remember hearing that and thinking that like, oh, that's kind of cool. And an intern, like usually intern doesn't really reach out to a partner to ask about like stuff and things like that. He's probably making a lot of people comfortable enough that they can reach out to them.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the next episode on Monday afternoon.